I know it took a long time. I, I know it took a long time to get this out, so here it is, guys. sorry that I took sorry that I took so long to get this out, and because I have like very low energy that I was not able to do it, but I just you know what. Look, my sleep schedule has been messy, okay? So that is why I have been, I have been, you know, having trouble trying to get this out. And yeah, I'm sorry to, miss you guys and such. So here it is, my theater and musical experiences. So last time I went into a theater is it was at a cousin's graduation. So needless to say, that wait a minute, I'm not talking about graduations. Okay, so last time I went into a theater, it was just just because I was at high school, right? And we were just chilling, not doing anything, just doing our own thing and such. And 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 one thing to note is that it is freaking cold in that theater. So needless to say that either it was my first time or did I just went to one before. Because like the last time I went to a theater was at a like a was at my cousin's graduation. And needless to say that theaters aren't just for musical performances or whatever it is. It could be sometimes for graduations. It could be for graduations as well. I didn't know that much. Um. So yeah, like the first time I went into a theater was at a cousin's graduation. So we went there, celebrated her graduation, and yeah, nothing special happened. I was just, I don't know, underwhelmed, or I don't know what was going on, because a bit of a reminder, I was very young back then. So little me wasn't interest of the whole thing and such. I was on my DS playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart and such. I was just like, why am I here? But yeah. So far, my first theater experience was underwhelming. So, and yeah. So the other time I went was at high school, and there were a bunch of people there, a lot of people per se, and this was during PE class. So we went there to chill out and cool off. Just look, we just needed to cool off, okay? So we sat there and just do nothing. That is it. We just sit there and just cool off. um. Here's one question: why couldn't they just put on a movie? But yeah. I wish they would put a movie on in the theater, but just because, okay. Okay, not like really, because theaters, because like look, you go into a cinema to watch a movie. Not on a stage performance. So yeah, we just sat there and chilled because I don't know what was happening. So my theater experiences are like, they're either crazy or just like meh. Because every time I go into a theater, I am just like, why am I here again? So during my high school days, they were a bit crazy. I was not on my best self during high school, so oh boy, because it gets a little. How does one say it? It gets a little rowdy in the theater for most of the time, but there are other times where it could, like, comes down a bit and just those were the good times. But I don't know what was going on in the theater. They were like, I don't know, doing some dance moves, rapping, and all of that hullabaloo. You know what? You know what I just thought of? That my cousin's graduation was not the first time I experienced was not my first theater experience. I just realized that by now. Okay, so this is my actual first theater experience. So, okay, during my elementary days, there is this theater in a cafeteria, and needless to say, we just eat there and just leave. So, um, let's see, like the first ever theater performance I went to was yeah, I don't know what was happening, because I think it was like a what was it? It was like a play on The Wizard of Oz or something like that. And there would be times where the music could go wee. that would just pop out or never. It scared me. Because it's always loud in the theater. So if it's too loud, cover your ears or just plug your ears with something. So there's that tip, I guess. Okay. Needless to say, little old boy, little old Joe, was all, very amazed at what was happening. I forgot what the play was called. And there was this other performance where, like, there were like these two dudes, right, and they will have like these doors, like every section. They were funny as heck. Okay, and there's this little girl just like sitting there. I'm sorry for the background noise. Um, um, there's just this little school. There's just this. Blah, there is this little. I can't speak. Okay, how about I just say, like, so they're doing some funny stuff with, like, Minnie Mouse or something like that, and right out of nowhere, this girl just like lets out this very, very deep voice, which is so funny to me. I'm like, little old me would have been like, is she possessed? Oh my god. Dang. Dang, is she possessed by a demon or something? Okay, but seriously though, okay, but seriously though, that was the most funniest performance I've ever seen. So yeah, there are times where I couldn't, like, sit there for like the whole thing and through. That, like, happens to me like every time. Like during, like, I don't know, a whole minute of just watching a musical theater play or something, a stage play. Sorry, like during like the first whole minute, like, I just sit there and watch the whole thing, and then a minute later, someone decided to pick me up and just leave the theater because, dang, I couldn't just sit through the whole thing. Like, I couldn't finish the. Well, why do you have to take me away? Let me just sit there and watch the whole thing. So during my high school days, there were, I don't, like I said before, there were rapping, dancing, or whatever what was going on, and such. um, I think it was like I forgot what was it. Maybe it was like the students of the year or something like that. I don't know. Um, and then every time, whenever a student pops up, the picture on the projector, I mean, um, everybody was just like, because that's what you do whenever a musical ends or whatever. So there are musicals that interest me, per se, because I'm not that much of a, you know, theater kid, but I mean, yeah, I am like a theater kid in heart. I mean, I am a kid at heart. So I am so sick and tired of these background noises, I swear. It pisses me off every time. Alright. Sorry. Sorry that you have to hear that. There are musicals that interest me, but not like a whole lot, because everybody knows Wicked, right? You know, they made 2 movies out of that musical. They were not my cup of tea, needless to say. So there are some musicals that interest me, like Shrek the musical. I'm like legit surprised they made a musical out of Shrek of all movies. And then there was there's the other one, SpongeBob the musical. Yes, SpongeBob the musical. That one has Ethan Slater in it, because I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's one of the most bizarre musicals to be ever be made and such. Like, out of all things, why SpongeBob of all things and such? I mean, yeah, it's a good show. I mean, it's a good musical per se for everyone, but for me, it was very entertaining. I couldn't agree with you guys. For Shrek, on the other hand, why? I don't know. I couldn't like finish the whole musical and such. I mean, I watch musicals on YouTube just for, the whole experience, without anybody taking me away from the musical. Thank Lord. But then I stumbled across this other musical. One musical that is about a very old cartoon character from who knows when. It just popped out of nowhere. It's called Boop the Musical. It stars Betty Boop, who's this very old, cartoon character. It's such, boop 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 boop. She's very sexy, by the way. Sorry. I mean, it has like it has like this storyline of like, you all know the whole story. A cartoon character goes into the real world just to, I don't know, chill out or something. And I don't get why people call these slime tutorials. Like, dude, they're not slime tutorials. So let's just like get that out of the way and such. So that was it. My theater and musical experiences. Luckily enough, I did find some musicals that are very enjoyable, like SpongeBob the musical, Shrek the musical, and Boop the musical. I don't know how many times I have the same musical and such, but whatever, you could pay a ticket to go to Broadway, or you could just watch a musical on YouTube. That's how I would, that's how I would roll out and such. So anyways, that's all I got for now. Holla at your boy. I promise to see you guys either tomorrow or whenever I get back, because there are some things I have to do. So yes, I promise to see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys by then. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Holla at your boy. Yeah.